Okay, working on the ZR1500 yet again, and we actually just got the front grille on and the bumper, and Steve's actually putting the lower valence on right now. It looks really, really good. We went with the clear corners, just like we did on the teal truck, and then we went with the black and red like sport bow tie. It actually fits on the 94 grille. So stock headlights and everything like that. Check it out, looks good. There it is, guys. The front end of the ZR1500. You can see that Cordes performance heat exchanger just right out in the open. We might have to paint that thing black one day, Steve.
Yeah.
Just so it kind of hides it a little bit more, but for right now it looks pretty cool.
Black's good.
Yeah. And then
maybe we could do the reverse logo like we were thinking with the KP.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
These are
I think it'd be cool if we just get a ZR1500 stencil.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. And leave it silver.
Yeah.
That's black.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
Yeah, the KP one will work too. Cool, and this is the OEM valence off the other bumpers, so
yep, stock bumper.
We got an OE deal on there. It'll look good.
Put her on there for now until we do the fog lights.
Yep. Yeah, we're waiting on our fog light kit from the RZ lights dude. So once those come in, we'll do the fog light kit and everything. But for right now, we need to get the truck done for LST. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to let you know whenever I post a new video. And here you can see where we mount the transmission cooler with a 10-speed. Kind of mount up in there. You won't be able to see it at all once the plastic guard's up in there, but you can see some of the suspension work that we did. Everything turned out really, really nice. Got the lower valence on, looks good. That's starting to look like a complete pickup truck once again. Okay, we got the power steering pump reservoir here. Obviously the LT motors don't come with hydraulic power steering, so the Holley kit actually puts a hydraulic power steering pump, which is the same one as a C601, it looks like, isn't it, Steven?
The pump, yeah.
Yeah, so we had to mount this somewhere, so we decided to mount it over here on the side. And Steve just put some thread zerts there, which you see line up perfectly with the bracket. So that's where that's going to be, and then we'll run the lines. You won't see them because they'll be underneath the cold air intake. We're getting this stuff kind of, you know, looking nice. We got the fittings all on. We got the catch can, Motion Raceworks catch can all on. The fittings look good. And our dry sump tank sitting there waiting on the fittings to show up for it. Not sure where they're at, but they should be en route. And finishing the power steering lines down there, which we're making, and we'll have all this stuff back together on the front of the engine, be ready for some radiator hoses and fluids at that point. Drop some bolts.
Yeah, the washer fell when I picked it up. But the best part is the hood closes.
The hood does close. It was a close. It's got about a ½ inch of clearance.
Oh yeah.
From the front part of this blower. So if you can see from the side, it sticks up a little bit there.
Yeah, if you take a string, it drags the blower.
Yeah.
So it's just the bow of the hood barely clears.
It barely clears.
Yeah, we got the fenders on. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be
glad we have solid mounts in this thing, cause
yeah, it ain't moving.
It ain't moving. All right. So we're gonna finish up getting the power steering stuff mounted up. We'll show you what it looks like here in a second. There's the power steering fluid reservoir all mounted up on the side of the engine bay there, looking good. And right now, just fitting up the hoses, seeing what length we need. We have the pump off right now, so we're seeing what clamps we need for that, and then that's going to go back on. Then we'll be able to put the belt and everything else on to basically complete all the accessories of the engine, and really just run some radiator hoses, and we're pretty much done over on this side of the truck. Tomorrow we'll get the dry sump hoses hooked up, do a little bit more wiring over here, and we're pretty much going to be done under the engine bay of this ZR1500 build. Got the new HD Gates belt on there, the green belt. Everything fit good. Got the power steering pump on, lines ran. Got a lot of stuff going on this one, guys, with the dry sump and the different power steering setup, AC setup versus the ZL 1500 truck. Got the ZR 1500 sitting down the ground now. It's actually looking really good. And we do have the sport moldings and everything for this. We just haven't put them on yet. They're on the other side, though. So just a little quick glimpse. Almost got this thing done. See, there we got the correct moldings over here that we're going to be running. Just need to do some alignment stuff, and man, it's looking good. Almost done, Steve.
Oh yeah,
getting there.
Finishing touches.
Getting really close. Looks wicked with the freaking hoses coming out the front of the blower.
I like that style.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad we went with all straights.
Yeah,
kind of makes it look nice and fluid.
Max flow.
Yeah, right. Testing out the intercooler pump. That thing is pumping. Just a stock pump, but that is a great pump for factory. Got no leaks. Everything's working like it should. I think we're good, Steve.
Oh yeah.
First set of fluids in the new truck.
Yep. Might do brakes next. Put some brake fluid in it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's flowing pretty good actually.
Yeah. It's got a lot of hose to go through.
Yeah, it does. And a lot of blower.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell from the video, guys, but this blower is so much bigger than an LT4. It's not even funny. I mean, it's just massive when you look at it.
I would say one brick is as big as both LT4.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it's huge.
Cooling,
yeah. That's why those ZR1s cool so well.
Yeah. Like it's that whole, it's literally just, it's to the top of the lid and almost this whole section.
Yep.
Which is like right.
God dang, I just didn't even know. Look at that 1LE ZL1. There's like no suspension travel.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They're stiff.
Wheel wells with the wheel wells. Oh, golly. This thing is perfect. I don't even want to drive it, Steve. And then even the dry sump tank kind of matches.
The shininess.
Yeah.
It blends in.
Yeah, it does. You can't even really tell it's there.
Need to do some finesse here.
Yeah, gonna have to do some fender rolling to clear them wheels with the lowering. All right, I gotta take these moldings off and put the sport ones on.
Oh,
Up she goes. What's next? Brakes?
Yeah, I'll take the rear wheels off and put some brake fluid in it, bleed the brakes.
Ooh.
It'll be fun.
Everyone's like, are them clears? I'm like, yeah, those are the clears.
Yep.
I don't know what the big deal is, but I think they look good.
Oh yeah.
Not changing them things.
Clear's the way to go.
Yeah.
Guess I can get since this is all wrapped up, put the intake on and put our little nozzle in there.
Oh
this
yeah.
can be completed to make our booster hose.
Yeah.
Do that. How high do you want it for the moldings?
Oh, that doesn't need to be high at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do
I gotta
that.
get some radiator hoses too.
Yeah. I can't remember if we...
Send me to the wall of the
Yeah.
radiator hoses at O'Reilly's.
Take some pictures with the
Last
tape.
time they're like, oh, we can't let you go back there. Just tell us what make and model it's for. I'm like, well, it's a 93 Chevrolet 1500 with an LT4 in it. And they're like, yeah, you can go back to the wall. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know what you're trying
It's custom. Just get those custom accordion hoses and bend it up
Yeah.
with the coil inside.
Yep. I still have all my
All right,
notes
I'll do
from
that.
when I did it last year, so it's
Yeah.
crazy. A year ago to the day, Steve, we were doing the exhaust on the teal truck,
Well, wow, how close
and we're
they
probably
are.
going to be doing the exhaust on this truck today.
Yeah.
Exactly 1 year from the teal. That's pretty wild.
It's crazy how it timed that way, and we started at different times and
Yeah.
worked different days.
But when we got
good.
the teal truck done, it really wasn't all the way done. This one's pretty much all the way done when it's
Yep.
done. So, because remember, we had a bunch of bugs that we just didn't know we were going to run into that we fixed.
Yep.
On
Got
this
the fuel
one.
system right.
Yeah,
Then,
fuel system's correct.
Had to add the paddles. Got those working.
Yeah. I think we're on the right track though. All right, well, guess we'll bleed some brakes. I'm gonna rip some moldings off here just to show you the comparison. So we're getting rid of the chrome strip moldings, and I have the ones already done over here. We're doing the sport style moldings over here, so that way everything matches. Make this truck look like a sport or an SS. It's gonna have the buckets in it, so that's another thing. I think we really went over this on the last truck build, but the radiator hose is kind of a different deal. So we got a different size outlet here versus the outlet on the radiator. So what we do is we usually end up cutting like a hose in half, then using the other half over here. So the really tough part is getting a hose that almost bends all the way back this way, and then we have to get one that cuts really sharp off of here, which we got. I just went up to O'Reilly's and with a tape measure and just kind of measure outlets and go on their wall that they have in the back of the store and just kind of pick the best hoses I can find. This is going to be the one for the upper radiator, and then we'll cut it and join it with this one probably about right here. And then the lower one is a lot less modifying since they're both the same size. But what we'll end up doing is probably putting this one right there, and then it'll go right into the outlet there. So we're good. And then we also use these heat shrink style clamps instead of clamps. These look a little bit nicer on the truck. And then O'Reilly's also sells the junction radiator hose repair kit deals, which that's how we combine the two hoses together. So that works out really well on that. Steve is working on wiring up our hood light here so everything works on that like factory, and getting our intake kind of fitted with the radiator hoses and stuff. It's kind of a trick there, but once we have these radiator hoses on, we can basically put coolant in the engine, so that'll be good to go. And then obviously that stuff over there will have a plastic cover over there. There's a factory cover that goes, so it'll cover all that wiring up. Looks nice once that's all covered up and complete. We got the upper radiator hose, and what we end up doing, we didn't even have to cut it at all. We ended up flipping it around the other way, and it actually worked. We had to cut a little bit off on each end to make it really fit, but check it out, guys. That thing fits perfect. And then we're putting our heat shrink hose clamps on, which look really nice. Steve's doing the lower one right now. Yep. We did have to adapt the lower one. The water pump outlet's smaller than the lower outlet on the 454 SS radiator. So basically we just get a conjunction from O'Reilly's and put a heat shrink over both of them. We had this spare hose around. It actually was smaller and then adapted up to a bigger size. So it actually worked pretty good.
Yeah, 1 1/4 to 1 1/2.
Yeah, so we got the outlet 1 inch, 1/4, and then the bottom one's 1.5 inches. So a little bit difference in sizes between them both, but we're making it work. It's looking pretty good. UPS actually showed up today too. We didn't think they would. There's like 7 inches of snow out there that just got dumped on us this morning, but props to UPS for delivering some parts on these bad weather days. But we got our U-joint straps in. We got the rest of our dry sump tank parts in, which is good. We got our coolant overflow tank in. We also got our mounts for the dry sump tank, which we're gonna have to modify a little bit. We had an extra Mighty Mouse catch can laying around. This is gonna be our dry sump vent for the dry sump tank. And what else do we get? We got some gear oil.
Coolant overflow.
Yeah, we got the coolant overflow. We got our little cap here for the intake. That way we can plug it up. We got our nice new Billet Specialties black radiator cap, which looks pretty cool. But it's coming along. Come along, Steve. Got some parts in today. Thank goodness. Okay, now we got our custom-made drive shaft here that we're going to be putting in. This does have the slip joint for the 10-speed because the 10-speed has a bolt-on flange, not a slip yoke. So that way that little slip joint kind of gives it some suspension to the drive shaft for driveline movements and all that good stuff. So we had that made on the drive shaft from Gears Unlimited. They're here in Kansas City. They make all of our drive shafts for us. Good guys.
There they are.
Yeah, right there. you guys need drive shafts, they do ship them, and they make them pretty quick too. If you guys need a good drive shaft, they do carbon fiber, aluminum. Nemo's got a carbon fiber one on him. This one's getting an aluminum one, which will be plenty for the ZR 1500. Also been working on our dry sump. Got that cool flange on there. I'm not sure where I got this from. I got on, I believe it was on eBay or something. But this is a really nice dry sump flange. It came with all the GM metal O-ring gaskets that go on the inside. It came with the dash 12 fittings, and then it's also labeled in and out, so that way you know which line's what. So that's pretty cool there. We got some fittings and stuff from Red Horse, and we'll be finishing the dry sump tank install here in a second. Getting that drive shaft lined up on there. It's got a little pilot bushing in there to kind of basically center it up perfectly. Okay, we got the dry sump tank in and plumbed. We also put a little catch can for the dry sump tank vent over here, which actually mounted up real nice. We used a Mighty Mouse can over here with a little black billet bracket that he supplies with some of his kits. Turned out really nice. We got all the hoses done. We got the bypass hose also into the radiator as well from the thermostat. Everything's heat wrapped down there. Basically, we just got to put a coolant overflow. We're going to put the overflow kind of down here next to the radiator. So that'll be all nice. Yeah, it's going to go right down there.
Pretty much like that.
Which will be good. So that'll be all the tanks. Now I know why some of these cars have like one big tank for like 5 different things.
They just put it all together.
It's the dry sump for you. So, but it's looking pretty good. This over here is for the Holly, for the power and ground stuff. So we have it just kind of wired over here right now. We're waiting on our battery relocation kit. We still have not seen it yet, so getting kind of nervous there, but we need that to show up so we can wire the battery stuff to the back of the truck and get this thing some power.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they want that directly on the battery.
Yeah, so we got to get that all ran. But other than that, this is pretty much what the engine bay is going to look like in the ZR 1500 truck. So we got pretty much everything in place that is going to be in here now. Looks good, Steve.
Yeah, it's coming out pretty good.
It's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, once you set the motor in,
yeah.
You don't realize how much more stuff you got to hook up. I mean, it's basically been 3 days straight just hooking up accessory shit. Yeah. But we're getting it.
You can kind of plan it in your head of how it's going to look, but until you start making the fittings and the hoses running everything.
Yeah. I mean, I can't kid ourselves, though. It actually turned out really nice. It looks clean. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on here, but at the end of the day, it still looks really nice, and it's presentable. It's not just hacked up, a bunch of wires everywhere, a bunch of hoses strung out all over the place. It's very nice to look at.
Yeah, we're about to the point where we could put all the fluids in it.
Yeah, we can.
At least in the intercooler.
Yep, we can do the coolant for the engine. We can do the engine oil. Yep. We can do the power steering. We can do brakes. I mean,
we can put some fuel in it.
Yeah, we can put some.
We don't need the neck to do that.
Put some fuel in it for sure. Yep. I think we're gonna run some MS-109 in it to first start it up, and then once Justin gives us a tune, we'll throw some.
Does the Holly have a startup tune in it?
It should. It should. Yeah. Should have all that stuff in it. Yeah. If not, Just Tune can set it up for us.
Yeah.
Just like Nemo.
It should at least fire.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, worst case scenario is I can put one of Nemo's files in it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's the same, basically the same thing, really.
Yeah.
As far as for the Holly.
Did we do 4 or 5 inch on Nemo?
We did 4, but the Holly has nothing to do with the mass airflow sensor. All it's got to do is the coil, fire and order, injectors, and basically what it is. It's an LT engine, so I think we'll be good. Cool. All right, well, that'll wrap up today's work. Got a lot done. Doesn't seem like we got a lot done, but we got a lot done.
Yeah.
The dry sump was a big hurdle.
All the parts we put on came in after lunch.
Yeah, they came in like after 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Alrighty guys, that'll do it for today's video. The next video you're gonna see is gonna be the startup of this truck. We're gonna work on the exhaust on that video as well, and probably have the bed pretty much almost in a completion phase video is gonna be the next video. So this will be the last video that we have where it's not starting and running. So pretty excited about that, but the ZR1500 project has really taken a swing for the fences this last couple weeks and got a lot done. So thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you know whenever I post the next video. We'll see you later.